Hello and welcome to Bureau Bites, a regular pod bite bringing you news from Vietnam and the region. I'm Matt Cowan, the Bureau Chief and your host. Thank you for joining me for this quick bite. Well, the biggest public health crisis we've confronted this century, and perhaps the biggest ever in history, continues to play out. And it's forced us indoors for the foreseeable future. Governments are demanding that we stay home and leave only for essential purposes like grocery shopping or medical checkups. Schools have been closed for most of the year already in Vietnam, and students aren't likely to return until at least June. In addition, workers in non-essential industries have either been stood down or are required to work from home until further notice. Meanwhile, Vietnam's nationwide social distancing campaign, which was originally slated to end on April 15, is now likely to be extended to at least the end of the month or even further. This comes as new COVID-19 cases continue to arise in Vietnam. Although they remain small in number compared to many other places globally, the risk of infection is still significant enough to continue social distancing measures. Still, as the existential threat to our health and livelihoods is mostly seen as coming from beyond the four walls of our homes, what about the impact it's having within them? The health impact of sedentary lifestyles has been widely documented for decades. So what should we be doing to ensure that we come out the other side of this pandemic in good shape? To find out, I spoke to health and fitness professional Phil Kelly, founder and master trainer of Body Expert Systems based in Ho Chi Minh City. Phil, thank you for joining Bureau Bites.
Hey, Matt, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
What impact has COVID-19 had on the health and fitness industry in Vietnam?
It's massive. I mean, the majority of the health and fitness business is interpersonal. So it's one-to-one, it's in, large groups. So the socialness of a fitness center is a huge marketing thing. And that's why people join and stay active within gyms. It's more because of the social element of it. And because of Corona, we're not allowed to be within 2 meters of anyone, and all the gyms now are currently closed. So it's had a massive impact on the fitness side of things, definitely.
How quickly do you believe the industry will bounce back, and why?
I think it'll bounce back quickly, maybe not quite as quickly as the bars and restaurants, because once people get out of quarantine, I think there's going to be a bit of partying. But I believe that the people who are or were active in the gym scene will want to go straight back to it. And I would hope that because people have been cooped up for so long, they'll actually have an inkling to want to move more and try and improve their fitness. And I mean, this is a health issue. So by being active and going to the gym, you become more healthy. So I'm hoping that people will be wanting to become healthier after this to protect their health and their life in the future.
As you mentioned earlier, working out is an inherently social thing to do. How have you adapted your programs to the restrictions that have been put in place?
Well, that's what we're busy doing now. We're actually just launching Body Expert TV. So this is essentially going virtual. We're creating live online classes that people can enroll in, and we've got a number of memberships that people can join. So we're trying to create a portal so that people can still get that social element while working out. I mean, there's lots of, you just have to go onto YouTube and the internet and you can search any sort of programs. There's lots of workouts out there, but really it's that motivation, it's that support, and it's that social connection that people are really wanting. Because even for me, it's hard to work out without that. I mean, just to get up in the morning and go, okay, I'm going to do a workout in my house, it's pretty tough. So having that social element, even when it's online, you're still interacting. It's almost like they're in the room with you. So that's what we're busy creating, that portal. And we're also upgrading our presence on YouTube as well. So to try and give out some free stuff also.
Now, for weekend warriors like me and who are confined to their homes at the moment, what advice and activities do you have to keep us moving?
Well, I mean, the best advice I can give you is that move as much as possible, exercise just enough. So if we take that as our gold standard to try and achieve, really to stay healthy, all we need to do is move. Exercising is really for that added goal. So it's a specific goal for exercise. But for health, we just need to keep moving. So, I mean, like I just mentioned before, there's a huge range of home exercise workouts that you can look up on the web. Just be careful to not do the same movements all the time. So we want to make sure that if you are working out, you're doing a variety of movement patterns to maintain balance, which will keep good posture as well as avoid injuries. Now, this movement thing is, I would still recommend people going outside for walks and in fresh air. Obviously, don't go anywhere within 2 meters of someone you don't know. Keep social distance, but there's no real danger in stepping outside. If you can just go out for a small walk, it's going to be great for your mood, great for your mental state, because you're getting some fresh air, getting some sunlight, and it's just a change of scenery. So I would still try and get people to go for a walk or a jog or something outside once a day, just to freshen up their mindset, as well as do something positive for their health.
And finally, Phil, we come across a lot of online challenges. Are there any that come to mind that we just simply should avoid?
Again, like I just mentioned, any program that you choose, it needs to be balanced. So, I mean, there's one going around at the moment, and I see a couple of guys doing it. It's 100 push-ups every day. So let's think about it. That's the same movement. 100 push-ups is a lot, right? So I don't know how long that's going to take some people out there, but that's a lot of push-ups. So what that's going to do is you're just doing one movement. You're just pushing. So it's going to make those muscles stronger, but also tighter. So your pecs are going to get stronger and tighter, which is going to pull your shoulders forward. You're going to get almost like a repetitive strain. It's going to cause your posture to maybe have rounded shoulders. And let's face it, most people are sitting all day now. So we're sitting in possibly a hunched position already. And then you're going to do 100 push-up challenge. So again, it's just too repetitive. All these movements are too repetitive. Plus it's boring, right? It's one exercise. So if you're going to do a challenge, make sure it's balanced. That you're going to do different movements like push and pull. There'll be either sideways movements, forward, reverse, and trying to vary up also vertical and horizontal movements. So really just think of it very simply, but think about balancing it out. And anyway, with our modern lifestyles, we should be doing more pulling actions rather than pushing anyway. Other ones I see are squat challenges, which aren't too bad, but again, it's just boring because it's one exercise. So why not branch out and do something that's really balanced for you, so that it's going to keep your posture and keep your function, make you function better. The other thing is if you're going to follow someone, because again, there's a lot of people out there creating fitness content. Now, these people don't necessarily have to have any qualifications or have any experience in the fitness field, but they're producing these videos, which is great. I mean, anything that motivates you to move is awesome. But this follow actually have qualifications and know what they're talking about. So just because someone looks great doesn't mean that they're giving you a great program. So always check and see what qualifications they have, what experiences they've done before, and really making a qualified decision on who you're going to follow. Because there are some amazing coaches online, and you can get excellent programs that are very cheap or free from these guys. And it's just about choosing the right person and being smart on who you follow.
That was Phil Kelly of Body Expert Systems in Ho Chi Minh City. Well, that's all for this Bureau Bite. If you liked what you heard, please review the Bureau podcast wherever you get your podcasts. This has been Matt Cowan. Until our next Pod Bite, keep up to date with what's happening in Vietnam and the region by going to thebureauasia.com and visiting Facebook and Instagram at The Bureau Asia.